State-sanctioned killings, the ultimate punishment handed down for heinous crimes. Despite growing global condemnation and more countries choosing to abolish, last year saw the highest number of executions worldwide in more than 25 years. According to Amnesty International, at least 1,634 people were executed in 25 countries in 2015. Most were carried out in 5 countries: China, Iran, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia and the US. Amnesty says the figures in China are unclear, but it believes thousands were executed there.
This organization you mentioned often has some biased reviews on China, and we don't have comment on that.
Iran alone accounted for 82% of executions in the Middle East, with at least 977. Pakistan lifted a 6-year moratorium on execution of civilians in December 2014, following a Taliban attack on a school in Peshawar. Last year, it executed 326 people. 158 were executed in Saudi Arabia in 2015, a 76% increase on the previous year, while 28 people were put to death in the US. But on the other hand, 4 more countries banned the death penalty in 2015, and Mongolia will abolish it later this year. The United States, a leading world power, a beacon of democracy, and a champion of human rights. It was also the 5th highest executor in 2015. While the numbers are falling, 7 fewer were executed than in 2014, and it was the lowest number since 1991. But 31 states still have the death penalty, and pressure to end it is mounting. The EU has an export ban on the drugs used in lethal injections, and stocks are running low.
What happened in Oklahoma is deeply troubling.
In September 2014, convicted murderer and rapist Clayton Lockett was given a concoction of drugs in what should have been a fast-working lethal injection. But he lived for 43 minutes in apparent pain.
In the application of the death penalty in this country, we have seen significant problems. Racial bias, an uneven application, situations in which there were individuals on death row who later on were discovered to have been innocent because of exculpatory evidence.
For the majority of Americans, the death penalty is a vital part of the justice system. According to Pew Research, 56% agree with it for those convicted of murder. But overall support is declining. It's as low as it's been in 40 years. With questions about the fairness of trials and whether capital punishment does work as a deterrent, many within the US and around the world say it's time for it to be abolished completely. Yvette McCullough, The Newsmakers.